A client came to me who had been recently diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and was now concerned regarding her diet. She put on a whole lot of weight. She was fairly convinced that it just happened to become a diabetic. She wasn't really aware of why this had happened, yet she was well over 100 pounds overweight. I don't know why a doctor wouldn't have told her you're going to have some problems if you don't lose some weight, but apparently no one did. So she came to me and said, "What can I do? You know, this is incurable." And I said, "Do you have type 1? She said, "No, I have type 2 diabetes. You know, it's incurable." Well, I politely informed her that this was not the case, that with weight loss, change in diet, change in various habits, that it is entirely possible to no longer be a type 2 diabetic. And this was news to her. She believed everything she'd seen on TV, and she was going to come and talk to me about maintenancing her diabetes. And finally she just looked at me and she says, "Why do I have it?" And I had made some notes. By the way, I love clocks. I'd made some notes, and I explained to her that mostly it's diet, but there's a whole lot of other things that affect this onset of type 2 diabetes. You know, we've got thousands and thousands of chemicals that are used in the food industry that have never had really good testing to see what the long-term effects are on the human body. These are very destructive mitochondria, the little energy systems in every living cell. And, you know, they're also in the pancreas and the liver and everything else, and they're highly stressed by improper diet and all of these various chemicals. We have got fake food. We've got material that looks like food, smells like food, but it isn't food. It has virtually no nutritional value. We also find ourselves in becoming a type 2 diabetic that often the person has had virtually no exercise in the past 5 or 10 years. They may suffer from alcohol abuse. They have really a basic misunderstanding of what is good nutrition, and they tend to believe just about anything that's on the TV. Matter of fact, this lady looked at me and said, "Well, you know, if it wasn't true, it wouldn't be on television." I was kind, and I said, "You may want to reconsider that." We also discussed the use of fresh produce. And then I found out she was on 11 different kinds of medical pharmacy prescriptions. I have a physician's desk reference. I looked up some of these, and they have horrendous effects. And some of them were in contraindications, so they were fighting each other. And I said, "You need to seek a medical professional and review the medications that you're taking, because it may be something that you want to look into." I suspect there might be some problems there. I'm not a medical doctor, so please go seek medical advice, because those heavy uses of prescription meds can also affect your onset of type 2 diabetes. Another factor she had done was surrender her responsibility to this new diabetic doctor who told her, "We have to maintenance your diabetes." He never discussed diet with her, except you got to lose some weight. So there was no discussion of artificial sweeteners, no discussion of high fructose corn syrup. The guy did say, "Don't drink so many Cokes." My suggestion is don't drink any. if you have that kind of situation, you need to back off of your carbs. I can say that as a nutritionist, not as a medical doctor. It's not good for you. I have a couple other notes that I want to go over. A lot of people will use the corner store, and they'll go down and buy things in a convenience store. And most everything in a convenience store almost everything is packaged. So you're looking at processed materials beyond everything. Also, many people are in love with bread. Flour or various kinds of cereal grains have a horrible effect on the newly diabetic. Matter of fact, it may be one of the main reasons why people become diabetic. It's the trigger, perhaps. They eat too much of it, and they've already had a lot of the standard American diet, all the fats and empty carbs. So adding that is a big problem. Sugared sweets and various kinds of, I just use this generically, Twinkies or various kinds of product that are that kind of delight is not good for a type 2 diabetic. And as a country, we consume large amounts of refined sugar. I've heard the number is up to 120 pounds per person. Now, of all the countries in the world, the United States leads the pack with the amount of people who are type 2 diabetic. And so that's a great difficulty. There is something that is going on, and I just not know how to answer this, but now there's a lot of people who are in one corporation and buying something in another corporation. There are people who manufacture high fructose corn syrup who actually have bought into diabetic supply companies. I wonder what the connection is there. We have to get away from the idea of maintenancing, because every time I hear the word maintenance for type 2 diabetics, I simply replace that word in my mind with profit, profit, profit. Because that's all you're going to do if you maintenance type 2 diabetes. You can cure diabetes, virtually cure it yourself, if you do weight loss and concentrate on your diet. You may find yourself on insulin or oral insulin. That's important that you follow that. I'm not saying don't do it. You definitely, if you're at that point, you have to maintain some good medical advice on keeping down your blood sugar. With that said, though, it doesn't hurt to stop doing the things that can cause the type 2 diabetes in the first place. So you may find yourself using, over a period of time, incrementally of course, less and less of the insulin, and you may be able, through weight loss and all this other, to actually back away from being type 2. There's hope. Don't give up. This is Jerry Peterman. Be well.